different story to some of the others. Is a way to make some money quite quickly here with a bit of luck and some drilling success. So fairly established asset here. We've got resources in Chile, central Chile there. You can see the photograph on the slide there. That's a recent discovery of the Ferro South section, and there's a very large target behind the drill rig there, so I'll take you through it. A bit like Christian's story, we're in the sensible part of Chile. We're quite low elevation, close to Santiago, a bit south of their project. Chile, we rate the country, obviously, we're there, and it's an A credit rated country, as is Australia. Geology A, obviously, and we own 100% of the project, and we're starting to get some pretty interesting results coming through, like 100 metres at 0.64 from surface. Capital structures pretty tightly held, 84 odd % held by the top 50 shareholders. We've got a few funds in the stock and largely high net worth investors and management, and we've all bought our stock as well. There's no vend. Got a good team on board who most of us have worked together. Dave and I have worked on the Mawson West company where we built a few mines in the Congo. Natalie's ex-Rio and Clough Engineering, project management skills. Richard's corporate finance, and Adam's our man on the ground in Chile. Many years experience and work with us in Africa as well. So Chile, land of the giants, and we're a very overlooked asset that we hold in the area. We're 67 k's from Las Palumbres, an Antofagasta mine, one of the world's giants at 4.9 billion tonnes of ore at the 0.6s. And then there's El Pachon and others in Argentina in the same sort of locality. Really fantastic place to explore for super giant projects. Yarwun's been overlooked for many years, and we're just starting to crack the technical understanding of it. And being lower elevation, we've got town close by, power, water, and all those kind of things. So as Christian mentioned, it's cheap operating costs for us. We also have an existing resource in place of around 150 million tonnes at about typical porphyry grades around the 0.4s, and we're expanding that now as we go. This is a cross-section, long section of the project, ours on the left, and show you sort of early stage. There's some implicit modelling there with some of our drill holes. The modelling underneath is lithogeochemical modelling of deeper targets. And then on the right is Filo de Sol, which is an enormous project that BHP and Lundin bought recently for 4 billion. And you're talking a similar sort of strike length of about 3 k's. And this is back in 2018, so we've got a fair way to go on ours to see what it can show up. This is looking south to north. We've got 3 current deposits there, central in the north, which is pretty drilled out. We've already got pit outlines on that one, and then the Cerro Ferro look like they joined together, and drilling starting to confirm that. So that's over 2 k's for those two, and then the Curiosity target in the south is a monster that we've just defined recently with some magnetotelluric studies as well as other geophysical work. Just some selection of our top drill results over the last couple of years, plus the historical ones. The ones in orange are our drilling, so we've put a lot of science into what and where we're drilling and how we're doing it, and it's delivering results where we're hitting 26 metres at 0.91 and 100 metres at 0.6 and 150 at 0.52, those sort of numbers. And so we're starting to dominate the top results in the highlights for the project, and we expect to see more of that. There's some of the drill locations. Interesting thing about this one is the green outlines, the dark green is 1,000 ppm in soils. None of this work was done before we took over management of the project. And then the lighter green's 500 ppm, so around 0.1% So you can see they all join up. This is Cerro Ferro, and it needs a lot more drilling. We'll flick through. This is the lithogeochemical study that we did, which I outlined a very large target at Southern Porphyry at Curiosity in the bottom right there. And that led us to then take on additional geophysical techniques such as magnetotelluric, IP and others. A quick outline of the pit and some of the recent drilling, which we won't spend too much time on, but some nice chunky intersections from surface, so all very open pit amenable, 132 metres at 0.48 from surface, open at the end, so ready for diamond tail. So this is the magnetotelluric work that we've done, and long section looking west, and you can see Curiosity on the left hand side there, that very large blob sitting underneath, and it's a dead ringer for Valeriano, which is owned by ASX Resources. They've drilled that out so far to about 1.4 billion tonnes, and we'll cover that a little bit more, but it's a truly magnificent target, and we're planning to be drilling that in the next 3 or 4 months. And then you can see the drilling in there from our previous drilling, and there's other targets that are emanating from this MT work. So for those of you not that familiar with it, magnetotelluric is real 3D data. It's based on resistivity, and low resistivity obviously being copper, for example, or minerals, or graphite, or other things we don't want to find. But the low resistivity gives you an indicator of where the ore body sits potentially. And we've done every other bit of work that we can do from, as I mentioned, IP, mag, geofathom, lithogeochem, and they all point to this target being in that general location. And the next thing to do is put a hole into the middle of it. So this is a plan view on the left showing the scale of the target. And on the right, there's a proposed drill hole in yellow, which intersects the centre of the magnetotelluric target, as well as the fathom lithogeochem target, and then on the edge of the magnetics, which is where you would expect to see the ore sit. And the other thing we're doing here is we've got an angled hole, so we're coming in across the structures, so we got more chance of hitting the right structure, which has got the higher grades in it, with the first hole. It's about a 1,400 metre hole, and costs around $1 million. This is Valeriano that I mentioned earlier, which is ASX Resources. Amazing part of the world where they're drilling holes from 4.5 k's up in the mountains, no infrastructure, and they're drilling 2.2 kilometre holes into this target. So as a junior, that was pretty out there, and they hit it a couple of times, and Agnico Eagle's now invested 40 million for 13% of the company, and they're sitting at a $600 million capex. So as a comparison, Southern Hemisphere is sitting around a $25-30 million capex at present. So there's a nice target to hit, which could really make everyone a bit of money on the way through and turn up a really substantial deposit. So we run a pretty tight ship. There's the entire team, barring our country manager and CFO based here in Aussie. We've got a couple of exploration manager Australian based, and then a couple of geos there, and some field assistants, and a compliance guy, and a country manager. And we run a pretty tight ship and make sure everything goes into the ground and get drill results, which then helps build the company. So we're targeting a 20-year plus open pit style project here, as well as the large, deep underground, which would be a block cave style thing if it comes in. Just in terms of region where we are, 8 kilometres to the west of us, the Coyumbo region is emerging really well. There's a new mine being constructed there called El Espino. Well under construction now, should be starting production in the next year or so. And Pucobre, a medium-sized Chilean-based company, operates that. RCF, Resource Finance Corp, invested 90 million for a 23% share year before last, and that kicked off the financing to build that mine. So very close by, shows the doability of these projects, and obviously potential opportunities down the track where these may end up being, one and the same, part of the same operating structure, because the infrastructure costs of seawater pipelines and power, etc., are significant. Another free kick in terms of underlying value is a manganese project that we discovered back in 29, well before my time. Already got a JORC resource on it and a PEA done by SNC Lavalin. It's primed, ready for a modest operation. Nice sort of 10-12 year mine life plus. We're not manganese experts, but we're seeking a partner who is in the manganese business to pick this up and run with it. But yeah, an asset that we own and another bit of value add for Southern Hemisphere. So in terms of the value proposition, the investment proposition, A-grade jurisdiction, titles everything, a doable project in a good location. Our team work on the latest science-based exploration. We're very thorough in how we go through it and careful where we drill holes. We've got a decent resource base to work off and add to at 65 odd kilometres of drilling already, and then we've got a really, really large targeted curiosity that could really light a rocket under this thing. So that's the summary: low overheads and good shareholder base. So keep an eye on it. Thanks very much.